Okay, so this is the first, let's just say, real video to the channel. I apologize for having my fan on, but it is fucking hot right now, so you can deal with a little bit of background noise. You can stand my stuttering and rambling, you can deal with a little bit of a fan. So, first off, I'm going to talk about the thing that I've been thinking about the most recently, and that is my dad's divorce when I was 8. My dad and my mom were never married, so I'd gone back and forth between houses for a long time. Basically, since I was like 2 or some shit like that. I don't really know. So when my dad got divorced when I was like 7, 8-ish, around there, and he just stopped, and that's what I'm most bitter about, because at the age of 8, I was cooking most meals, I was cleaning, I was doing everything that an adult should do. Like, I was taking care of the house. He was going to therapy and crying and being a mess, and I got to clean the house. And, like, there's this one song that, so my stepmom cheated with a friend. And there's this one song that I can't listen to anymore, because one day we went out to a lake or a river and we were hiking or whatever, hiking around the lake kind of a dealio, and he would always whistle and sing this song, and to this day I can't listen to it, because every time I listen to it, it reminds me of me doing everything, and me and my dad crying, cuddled up in a corner together, because my old stepmom, she would go out and say she was going to kill herself, and then she'd go sleep with the dude that she was cheating on him with. And so I just have these memories. I don't remember her leaving. I mean, obviously my memory isn't perfect, because that was 5 years ago, give or take a little bit. And I have one of my very vivid memories was me watching her walk out the front door, and then I ran back into my dad's bedroom, and he was just a mess, crying, sitting in the rocking chair in the far corner of the room, he was bawling his eyes out. And I mean, obviously I don't remember everything I felt back then, but I remember getting on top of his lap and just starting to cry too. And yeah, and I've never really forgiven him, because it's not like he did anything terrible. He's done tons of other shit that have been way worse. I mean, nothing compared to most other people, but nothing picture perfect either. And that is, even through him giving me hell through everything else, that is one of the reasons I honestly hate him the most, because he stopped and I had to take over, and he just, I don't know. I could talk about this for hours, but I'd be saying the same shit, and by that point I'll lose all interest in other people watching it. So, yeah, what would have been different if I hadn't have had to take up the role of the housewife when I was 8. What would have happened if she hadn't have divorced him? And I think about this all the time, like, what would have happened if he hadn't have stopped? If he had continued? If he hadn't have gone to therapy? And if he had just continued being normal? Like, I, I, I remember him, like, barely being there for a long-ass time. Because, I mean, he was there when I was at his house, because I spent half the week at his house. But he wasn't there, and he'd go to therapy. And, I mean, my grandma would come over and we'd play and whatever. But, sorry, I'm starting to get all emotional and shit. And I don't know, he just, I don't think I can ever forgive him for that. Because to me, yeah, he'd always been a dick and I'd hated him for years by that point, but he was always supposed to be strong and he was supposed to be a pillar or something I could rely on. I just never thought that he'd break so easily and that I'd have to take the fall because he broke. And that's horribly unfair. And I mean, God, I'm bitching about how unfair it is, and there's people starving out there. There's people dying of diseases that are incurable, or that are curable, and they don't have the proper medicine or supplies to cure it. Here I am bitching about my daddy issues from 5 years ago, but as I said before, this is just me getting it off my chest, and for maybe other people to relate if they've been in something like that. Because, I mean, talk about how hard it is, but it's really nothing compared to other people. But to go from a happy, I mean, I was never really all that happy. I was bullied. He bullied me. The kids at school bullied me. But that was like the tipping point in the iceberg. Because I had to grow up so much, a period of like a few months at most. Like, I mean, obviously he wasn't just... Sorry, I'm yawning. It's like 4 in the morning. He didn't stop forever. At some point he started again, and the clock started ticking. He started moving. He started being a person again. He wasn't just something floating away into the scenery. But yeah, I'm just talking about this because I've been thinking about it a lot, as I said previously. Because I've been thinking a lot because I've been up more, especially during the night, well, early morning, late night kind of a thing. So I've just been thinking a lot because there's nothing else to do. And this is just a subject that my mind always seems to float to. And like, I have vivid memories of me cooking in the kitchen, like, he's just, I don't even know what the fuck he was doing. He's probably sitting down doing jack shit. And I'm over here, this little 8-year-old, cooking fucking fish and, like, beef and shit like that. And it's, I don't know, I mean, after that I didn't cook for a few years, and now I barely cook because I barely remember how to. I mean, because just, to me, it always associates me with that memory of him doing whatever the fuck and me cooking. I mean, I don't even know, like, I was just trying to be strong or something, but I, and I've never told him any of this, because honestly he scares the hell out of me. He's never done anything like hit me or anything like that, but still scares the hell out of me. Which seems so childish and immature to say, but it's truth. I figure, it's been 5 years, might as well post it on the internet, where I can never really take it down. Me slowly rambling with my pauses, my huffs, my fan, my crackling voice as I'm starting to tear. But the amount of times I say but. Yeah, I think that's all for this one. I'm going to do more stuff in other videos. And, well, I mean, obviously I'm gonna do more stuff in other videos. Yeah. Well, I hope you got something out of it. Whether the satisfaction to see me writhe in pain and discomfort as I remember shit that happens, or whether it be you enjoyed it because you sympathize, or you find me pathetic because I couldn't cope, or just you understood where it was coming from because you've been through something similar. Regardless of what instance, hell, if you even got a laugh off of seeing someone being so pathetic and weak, to each his own, but that's just whatever.